In the year 2000, a small struggling startup went to the biggest video rental company in the world with an offer. Buy us for $50 million and we'll run your online business. The CEO of that big company left them out of the room. 10 years later, that small startup was worth $13 billion. And that big company? Bankrupt. This is the story of Blockbuster's $50 million mistake. The decision that cost them everything and handed the future of entertainment to Netflix. I'm the business historian. Let's talk about how the king of video rental became a punchline. If you're old enough like me to remember Blockbuster, you remember Friday nights. You'd drive to the big blue and yellow store, walk the aisles, argue with your friends about what to rent, grab some candy, maybe a pizza from next door. Blockbuster was movie night for an entire generation. Founded in 1985 in Dallas, Texas, Blockbuster grew explosively. By the early 2000s, they had 9,000 stores worldwide, 60 million members, $6 billion in annual revenue, 84,000 employees. They were everywhere. Every strip mall, every neighborhood. You couldn't escape Blockbuster. And they were incredibly profitable. Want to know their secret? Late fees. Oh, those late fees. Return your movie 1 day late, that's $3. A week late, $20 or more. Customers hated late fees. But Blockbuster didn't care, because late fees accounted for 60% of their profit. 60%. Think about that. Their entire business model depended on customers screwing up. This will be important later. By 2004, Blockbuster was at its peak. $6 billion in revenue, 9,000 stores, the undisputed king of home entertainment. But the king was about to meet a challenger he didn't take seriously. In 1997, a guy named Reed Hastings got a $40 late fee for returning Apollo 13 6 weeks late to Blockbuster. He was embarrassed, he was annoyed, and he thought, there has to be a better way. So he started Netflix. The original concept was simple: DVD rentals by mail. No late fees. You keep the DVD as long as you want, return it when you're done. Then they send you the next one. For a flat monthly fee, $15.99, you could rent unlimited DVDs. No driving to a store, no late fees, no hassle. It was brilliant, except nobody knew about it. By 2000, Netflix was struggling. They had 300,000 subscribers, but were losing money. They needed help. So Reed Hastings and his co-founder Mark Randolph flew to Dallas to meet with Blockbuster CEO John Antioco. Their pitch? Blockbuster buys Netflix for $50 million. Netflix runs Blockbuster's online rental business. Blockbuster promotes Netflix in their stores. It was a win-win. Blockbuster gets into online rental, Netflix gets distribution and capital. Antioco's response? He laughed at them. According to reports, Antioco thought Netflix was a very small niche business. Blockbuster had 9,000 stores and 60 million customers. Why would they need some tiny mail-order DVD company? Hastings and Randolph flew back to California, rejected and humiliated. But they didn't give up. Here's what happened next. 2000 to 2004. Blockbuster ignores Netflix. Netflix kept growing, slowly but steadily. By 2004, they had 2 million subscribers. Blockbuster? Still focused on stores and late fees. 2004. Blockbuster finally launches online. 4 years after rejecting Netflix, Blockbuster finally launched their own online rental service. Too little, too late. Netflix already had the infrastructure, the customer base, and the brand recognition for online rental. Blockbuster was playing catch-up in a race they could have won. 2006. Blockbuster eliminates late fees. In a desperate attempt to compete, Blockbuster eliminated late fees. Remember, late fees were 60% of their profit. Revenue collapsed. The company that built its empire on late fees just gave them up. They tried to compete with Netflix on convenience, but they still had 9,000 stores to maintain, rent to pay, employees to staff. Netflix had warehouses and mailboxes. 2007, Netflix launches streaming. And then Netflix changed the game entirely. In 2007, Netflix launched streaming video. No more DVDs, no more mail. Just click and watch. Blockbuster was still trying to figure out online DVD rental while Netflix moved to streaming. It was over. 2008. The collapse begins. By 2008, Blockbuster was closing stores. 500 in 1 year. 2010. Bankruptcy. On September 23, 2010, Blockbuster filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. The company that rejected Netflix for $50 million was now worthless. 2013. The end. By 2013, almost all Blockbuster stores were closed. Today there's one Blockbuster left, in Bend, Oregon. It's a tourist attraction. Meanwhile, Netflix? In 2010, the year Blockbuster went bankrupt, Netflix was worth $13 billion. Today, Netflix is worth over $150 billion. That $50 million offer? It would have been the best investment Blockbuster ever made. So what went wrong? How did the king of video rental lose everything? Reason 1. Complacency. Blockbuster was so dominant they couldn't imagine losing. 9,000 stores, 60 million customers, 6 billion in revenue. They thought they were invincible. This is the curse of market leaders. Success breeds arrogance. Arrogance breeds complacency. And complacency kills companies. Reason 2. Short-term thinking. Late fees were 60% of Blockbuster's profit. They knew customers hated them, but they couldn't give them up because it would hurt quarterly earnings, so they kept charging late fees, until Netflix offered an alternative. Blockbuster optimized for short-term profit and ignored long-term threats. Reason 3. Underestimating technology. Blockbuster thought streaming was a fad, that people would always want physical media, that the experience of going to a store mattered. They were wrong on all counts. Technology doesn't care about your business model. It doesn't care about your nostalgia. It moves forward whether you're ready or not. Reason 4. Too slow to adapt. It took Blockbuster 4 years to launch online rental after rejecting Netflix. 4 years. In technology, 4 years is an eternity. By the time Blockbuster finally moved, Netflix had already won. Reason 5. Asset-heavy business model. Blockbuster's 9,000 stores were once their greatest strength. But when the market shifted to online, those stores became anchors. Rent, utilities, employees, inventory, all fixed costs. Netflix had warehouses and servers, much cheaper, much more scalable. Blockbuster couldn't compete because their cost structure was built for a different era. Lesson 1. Disruption comes from unexpected places. Netflix wasn't a traditional competitor. They weren't another video rental chain. They were a mail-order DVD company. Blockbuster dismissed them because they didn't fit the traditional model. The biggest threats often come from outside your industry. Lesson 2. Customer pain points are opportunities. Late fees were Blockbuster's profit center. They were also Netflix's opportunity. Your customers' biggest complaints are your competitors' biggest opportunities. Lesson 3. Your strength can become your weakness. Blockbuster stores were their advantage, until they weren't. What made you successful in the past can prevent you from succeeding in the future. Lesson 4. Adapt or die. Markets change, technology changes, customer preferences change. Companies that don't adapt disappear. Today, there's one Blockbuster left. It's in Bend, Oregon. People visit it like a museum, a reminder of a different time. Netflix has over 200 million subscribers worldwide. They're worth over $150 billion. All because Blockbuster said no to a $50 million offer. $50 million. The most expensive no in business history. If you enjoyed this story of corporate failure, subscribe for more. We've got plenty. I'm the business historian. Thanks for watching.